Here's how I made $7,300 trading gold using supply and demand. Now, some of you guys are looking for strategies on how to actually profit in the market. Well, let's go ahead and get into it because I have a strategy for you that you might want to look into. Okay. So, when I trade supply and demand, looking at gold, gold has given me some beautiful setups all year. Okay. And I'm recommending that anybody who wants to trade a volatile pair, I believe that gold is the best trading pair to actually trade when it comes to volatility. Plus, I would recommend you lowering your lot size if you are looking for larger stops, but you will gain a great reward when it comes to these larger swings. Okay. So whether you are a scalper or a swing trader, it doesn't matter. This all applies to you. So today is Wednesday. Yesterday, I took this trade, making $7,300, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. It's such a beautiful trade, guys. I'm telling you, the market is showing you everything it needs to tell you when it comes to directional bias. Okay, we just have to be patient and let the market play out and do what it do, and just do our part. Okay, so you can obviously see right here that the market was stabilizing. Okay, now if you look back a little bit, you can see that the market was actually in a downtrend play. Okay. So since the market was in a downtrend play, I'm looking for more sales. Unless the market is looking to switch bias, then I will look for buys. Okay. Let's go ahead and delete this and let's go ahead and mark up where I was looking for. Okay. So usually what I do is when we are in a range like this, okay, I like to trap the market a little bit and let the market decide and tell me where it wants to go. Okay. If it breaks out to the upside, then I will zoom out and I look for some resistance areas to see where it will probably break out to. But I would be looking for a retest where it broke out from. If it broke out to the low of the downside and is initial bearish momentum, then I am looking for sales. Okay. It's not that difficult. Now, do I always trap it like this? No. But anytime the market is ranging or consolidation, I tend to do it. Now, because I know it was sells or it was more bearish than buys, I took this off and I drug it over here, and you can see how many times gold touched. One, two, way more than two, of course, like three or four times, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12. 13. So obviously, gold is looking to possibly sell. So what I wanted to do is if it was a sell, I wanted to do something first. I wanted to break these lows. And once it breaks these lows, then I'll be looking for this one thing right here. Let me go ahead and put that back on. So we have, if it will hurry up, a break of structure. So since we have a break of structure, now I am looking for a retest, but let's go ahead and put the break of structure right here. So notice when this breaking structure happened that we have double tops, triple tops, quadruple tops going on here. Okay. My nearest supply zone is here. Okay. It doesn't matter how you draw it up, guys. You can draw it up anywhere you want. You can even draw it up as you're drawing a resistance level. You can draw it like this. Okay. So however you want to draw up your zone, you can do that. But for me, I like to be very precise and particular. So this was my particular supply zone right here. Okay. And since this was a break of structure, what is the next thing that we do? We wait for the market to return to its original area where it broke from in the gap, and then we look for more sales. Okay. So let's go ahead. We wait. Now, some people are probably dipping in a little bit late, and that's fine. Some people take breakouts right here, and then they just put their stop loss above this candle. But if you notice that sometimes it's best when, especially when the market is in ranging market, it's best to wait for gold to return to where it originally broke out from. Okay. Now, if the market was clean like this and everything, you could probably just take the breakout. But since it was like consolidating and then it broke out, you just never know what can happen. So I wait for the supply to happen. All right. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. All right. So you can see it touched this area. Now, what do I usually do when the market touches my supply area? Okay. I usually wait for the market to break this candle and I'm in, right? Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I didn't get in here and I got in at a later price. I should have gotten here, but the reason why I didn't get in here is because the market was starting to reject. And anytime I see a rejection from the downside and it's looking like this, I tend to actually second guess the trade, so I just don't get in. So, however, what I do instead, right? Let me go ahead and delete this. Is I just wait for more bearish momentum, and if I get more bearish momentum going, then I can look for a gold sell. All right. So we see obviously the market broke. It broke to these lows, so I entered somewhere around here. All right. So let's go ahead and put the short indicator on. Now, where's my stop loss? Your stop loss can be here. It could be here, anywhere you desire. But I have a 100K account on the prop firm, and I usually risk about 1%. Now, you say, how is that possible when gold is very volatile? Well, I lowered my lot size. I don't use a 10.00 lot size. What I do is I use a 1.00 lot size as standard, and I make my stop loss larger. So this is a 100 pip stop loss, which is on my 100K account only a 1% risk, right? Now, you're looking probably, well, where do you look at for TP levels? Okay. Now, I look for here for TP levels, right? Usually I do, but I didn't actually set a take profit area. And why? The reason why is because I've seen on the 4 hour time frame where gold can potentially go for a long swing. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the 5 minute time frame right quick, and I'll show you the reason why I did not set my lows right here. But what I did instead is I removed this, went back to the 4 hour time frame, and you can obviously see where gold was actually retesting on these areas. So 39.27. But I did not put my take profit there. I put it somewhere where I can get out a little bit earlier, because you guys do know sometimes the market likes to go in that direction, like to go to that certain area, but then it start reversing in an earlier state of time. So what I did instead is I dragged it all the way down to, let me see, it was 39, 36 I got out at. Okay. So even though support was right here, I ended up, excuse me, I ended up holding my trade all the way to there. Boom. All right. Now you see how it reversed up real quick right after it retested this area. That's the reason why I got out earlier. Now, some of you guys are like, well, how was that $7,300? Well, remember, you have to think about it. Every 100 pips is $1,000 for me. Okay. So if I did 100 pips on this, think about this. If I did 100 pips on this, which is from 98, 398, 6.83. Let's just say 3,986 to 3,976. That's already 1,000. Okay. All right. So 1,066, 2,000. All right. 3,000, 46, 4,000, 36, 5,000. Now, that's why I forgot to tell you. I did add another position. Okay. I added another position on this area. So it was a 1.00 lot size, but I also threw in a 0.50 lot size as well. So that means I got extra change on top of that, which made my total profit $7,300 in this one move. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering, like, how often does this work? How often is this supply and demand strategy set up? Well, you have to understand, I use supply and demand strategy when gold is not looking right. Okay. When gold is like ranging and it's making these large moves, but then coming back, that's when I tend to use supply and demand. So some of you guys know I use breakout strategy as well. I usually use my breakout strategy when the market is like going, right? When gold is swinging these and making large sum moves, that's when I use my breakout strategy. But I mainly use my supply and demand when the market is going up and down, because it tends to respect the areas a lot more when it stays in a particular area. Okay. Just like this, it stays in these ranges and it gives you all sorts of setups. Okay. It comes back to a gap that it actually wants to fill, and then it goes back into its initial direction. So if you're looking for a supply and demand strategy, this is a great way to do it. And I also would say that gold is a really, really good pair to actually trade when it comes to volatility. So if you definitely like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll make another video for you just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.